All right, folks, here we go. So the second part here of section 8.3, special right triangles, is a 30, 60, 90. So you can read this slide here. I like this pictorial example a little bit better. Kind of walks us through what we have here. So on this slide, we have a 30, 60, 90. So what does that represent? Again, that represents angle measures. So we have a 90 degree here, you have a 30 here, you have a 90 here. So that whenever you hear 30, 60, 90, that represents angle measures. And then we have a relationship between the sides, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to call this right here is the short leg. How do we know this right here is the short leg? How do you know it's a short leg? It's opposite the smallest angle, so that's the 30-degree angle. So whenever we reference the short leg, which we're going to quite a bit, the short side, it's opposite the 30. The long leg is opposite the 60-degree angle, and then the hypotenuse is always opposite your 90 degrees. So just so you're getting an understanding of what the vocab and the terms that we're going to use here, we always want to reference the short side. So if we're going to go short leg to long leg, you're going to multiply by the square root of 3. If you're going to go from short to hypotenuse, you multiply the short by 2. And we always want to reference the short, so we want to try to get there. So if you have the long leg and you want to get to the short leg, you divide by the square root of 3. And if you want to go from the hypotenuse to the short leg, you divide by 2. So we want to always reference the short leg to understand how to get here, how to get to where we want to go. So I think I'm going to start with, okay, so we're going to start right here. So first thing you take a look at is to see what they give you and what you have. So again, here's a 30, here's a 90, this has to be 60. The short leg is the leg opposite 30 degrees. So this is the short leg is 5 inches. The long leg is going to be this one right here that's opposite the 60. So again, if you need to reference this and go back to it, we want to go from short to long, multiply by the square root of 3. So 5 times the square root of 3 is just simply 5 square root of 3. So from short to long. From short to hypotenuse, we times that by 2. 5 times 2, this is 10. So that's basically what we're going to do. Now you just have to realize we can go in all different directions. Let's say, for example, they started with 10 as the hypotenuse. Then you would want to go from 10 down to the short leg and divide by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then you would go from 5 here times by the square root of 3 to get the long leg. What if, for example, they started you with the long leg? You know, we don't want to go right from the long leg to the hypotenuse. No, we don't want to do that. We want to go from the long leg to the short leg. To go from long leg here to short leg here, you divide by the square root of 3. That would give you the 5. Then you multiply by 2 to get to the hypotenuse. So hopefully we can do a few more of these and kind of get you in the right direction here. So again, you have to take a look and see, what do they give you? Here's 30. There's 90 here. This is 60. This is the short leg. This is a short leg. To go from the short leg to the long leg, this is the long leg. It's opposite the 60. You're going to multiply by the square root of 3. So 4 square root of 3 over 3, that's the given, times that by the square root of 3. Okay, so now this is a pair of 3's. So really now that's 3 times 4. This is 12 divided by 3, which I would hope that you reduce to 4. So this is 4. We want to go also from the short leg to the hypotenuse. You're multiplying by 2. So 4 square roots of 3 over 3. That whole thing is times it by 2. So really you're taking the 4 times the 2. You get 8 square root of 3 over 3. That is your answer for the hypotenuse. That gives you an idea of what we're doing there. That gives you the same example or answers there. Okay, so now multiple choice. Try this one on your own again. What are they giving you? Okay, so take a look. This is the short leg. You don't have that. That's 30. This is 60. So what you have is you have the long leg. So we need to go from long leg to short leg. So to go from long leg to short leg, you divide by the square root of 3. When you divide by the square root of 3, you end up with 4. This is 4. You're going to go from the short leg to the hypotenuse, times that by 2, you get 8. BC is 8. Final answer is B. So let's try the next one here. Next one, what we have is, this is some bookends. They're in the shape of a triangle, and they want us to find the x. So these two are the exact same. So this is 5. So this is 5 if we're trying to find the x. This is right here. They want you to find the what? Long leg. 30 is here. We have the short leg. How do you go from the short to the long? You just simply times that by the square root of 3. Final answer is A. Final answer is A. This right here are the formulas that we did. We just finished the 45, 45, 90. We're currently working on the 30, 60, 90, and we'll eventually get to SOHCAHTOA here next. So the next set of notes, not today. So taking a look at this question right here, again, take a look and see what do they give you, okay? The 60 is here. So I like to fill in the 30 here. They give you the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is opposite your 90-degree angle. So you want to go from hypotenuse to the short leg. You're going to go 14 divided by 2. So this is 7. That is the short leg. And then you want to go from short to long. It's just simply that number times the square root of 3. So 7 square root of 3. Final answer. This right here is just kind of a guide to help you out to solve those, kind of a formula. So this one right here is going to make us work a little bit and to recall some knowledge. So the first thing it says, the perimeter of an equilateral triangle. So again, what does equilateral mean? Equilateral means all sides are equal. So if this whole thing, this perimeter right here is 96, we're going to go 96 divided by 3, and that's 32. So each side is 32. So 32 here, 32 here, and 32 here. It says find the length of the altitude. So you have to know what is an altitude. Altitude is from the vertice straight down with a 90-degree angle. Okay? What that also does is that cuts that into 2 equal parts. So the 32 now becomes 16, and this is 16. Also, equilateral also means equal angular. So this was 60, this is 60, this was 60, now cut down to 30. So we again have a 30, 60, 90. Let's make sure we know this is 16 and not 76, so that's 16. So we want to find this, we want to find that. Well, is that the long leg or short leg? Well, this is the short leg, it's opposite your 30, so we want to get the long leg. How do we find the long leg from the short leg? You go 16 times the square root of 3. That is your final answer. That is your length of your altitude. Last one here, folks. This one's more challenging because you have triangles inside of triangles. And after 8-1, hopefully that helped you out to understand how to separate and go from here. So I'm going to separate these. I don't think we need the humongous triangle, so we're just going to go with the medium one. And we're going to go with the small one. So they want us to find x, y, b, and c. So I have, here's D, here's C, here's A. So let's fill in what we have, and let's try to figure out, what we can do from here. So D, C, A, we have the hypotenuse is B, we have the long leg is Y, and we have that this is a 30-degree angle. Let's look at the little triangle here. This is X. Let's go, this is D, this is B, and this is C right here. We know that this is 60, so this is 30, so let's just fill those in so we know what we're doing. X, the hypotenuse is A. Okay, so we have to take a look and see. They gave us that A is 4 square roots of 3. So this is 4 square root of 3, okay? So from there, we need to be able to fill in everything that we need, and we're going to use this CD right here. Once we find that, that's how we're going to bring that over to that side. Those two are the same. Those are CD and CD, okay? So this is the hypotenuse right here. So they give us the hypotenuse. We want to find the short leg. How do you find the short leg from the hypotenuse? Find the short leg from the hypotenuse. So taking a look at what we have here, we are going to divide by 2. So 4 square root of 3 divided by 2 is going to give us 2 times the square root of 3. So x is 2 times the square root of 3. 2 times the square root of 3. We want to go from short leg to long leg to get this circle right here. So 2 square roots of 3 times the square root of 3. Pair of 3's times 2. This value is now 6. That value is 6. Okay, so why do we have to find that? Because that's going to give us here. Those two are the same. So if that's 6, that is now the short leg in our other triangle. So this is 6. We want to go from 6 to the hypotenuse here. That's 6 times 2. B is 12. So B is going to give us 12. And then y is 6 times the square root of 3. 6 times the square root of 3. Okay, so now going back to our last question, they wanted us to find c. C is right here. C is y plus x. So if we take a look at, here's our y, so 6 square root of 3. Here's our x plus 2 square root of 3. So again, you treat those square root of 3's as if they were a variable or a letter. So yes, you can add those together. 6 plus 2 is 8 times the square root of 3. That is the final answer there. Great job, folks.